Hey YouTube, Al and Jackson, happy Easter Saturday to you. Time for another Jackson Top 5. You ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, after the top 5 cars last time, I think naturally the next step in this YouTube series would have to be the top 5 worst cars of all time. Because we've explored the best cars, now we're looking at the cars you don't like. How hard was it to build a list of 5?
Pretty hard. It took me maybe 4 hours or something.
4 hours to come up with 5 cars you don't like?
Yes!
Okay, now you may remember back from the last episode of this that we did, that you said you didn't like the Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
Is that going to be one of the 5 cars that you don't like in Jackson's top 5 cars of cars he doesn't like?
Well, no, it won't be.
It's not going to make the list.
No.
Even though you didn't like the last time we made a YouTube, it's not made the top 5. You found 5 worse cars than the Mini Cooper.
Well, the Mini Cooper S.
Oh, just the S. So the Mini Cooper's okay. It's just the Mini Cooper S you don't like.
No, the Mini Cooper I don't like.
Right.
The Mini Cooper S I like.
Is okay. Right, so if it's got the S on the end of the Mini Cooper, that's okay.
Or John Cooper works. And John...
Yeah, I'd like a John Cooper Works Mini too, but that's fine. Okay, so you picked 5 cars. Now, you are not old enough to drive yet, because you are how old?
16?
You're not 16. Try again. How old are you?
8.
You're 8. So you haven't driven any of these cars, but you played a lot of Forza, and you played a lot of Need for Speed, you played a lot of Xbox.
And I've seen some in real life.
Okay, excellent. So, we've got 5 cars from 5 to 1. You're going to list a few things that you don't like and the reasons why they're on the list. So without any further ado, number 5, what did you come up with?
The Dodge Challenger.
Wait a minute, this is a great looking car.
I know!
Wasn't this in your top 5? Didn't you like the Challenger last time, or is that a different car?
It's a different car. The Viper I said I like.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Right. Dodge Challenger. Brilliant looking car. American muscle. Looks the business. What's the problem with the Dodge Challenger?
Because of how fast it is.
Right.
It's faster than a Porsche Cayman.
Yes.
And if it's that fast,
Right.
it's going to do a lot of damage if it hits another car. Right?
So are you saying that any car that's fast is bad because it may damage another car?
Fast and strong.
Right, because it's a muscle car and it's a big, solid, massive car.
Yes.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, Jack, there's so many cars that we could add to your list of top 5 if that's one of the things that you've picked up on. Okay, then, another reason why you don't like the Dodge Challenger, because I think it's a great car.
It pretty much costs a lot to fix.
Well, lots of cars cost lots to fix.
Yeah, but I don't like cars that cost lots to fix.
Don't you like Lamborghinis?
Yes.
They're not cheap to run.
That's because
Yes.
they're full of just so many fuel tanks, engines, big engines,
They've
small
only got one engine.
Yes, fine, and one fuel tank.
Yes, not many fuel tanks. It's not that big a car, but they're expensive
But
to
really
fix.
big engines.
Right.
And if they break, they take about, I think might be 10,000 or something.
Probably a bit
5,000.
more than that. But who knows? Look, I've never owned a Lamborghini myself, neither of you, so we can't really comment on how much they are to service. But you don't like the Challenger because it could be pretty pricey to give it an oil change. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, also the metal.
The metal?
Yeah.
What's wrong with the metal?
There's so much metal trying to protect it.
I would rather have a lot of metal protecting me than not enough, thank you very much.
Yeah, but if anybody just crashed through it and
Right.
got to the engine,
Right.
how much would you have to pay for that?
You'd probably buy a new car if it got to that point.
Yes!
I don't think you could fix that. That's pretty tough going. So that's the first of what I think is going to be many, many surprises so far on our list. That's number 5. Number 4, what'd you come up
We
with?
haven't did the third reason.
Oh, sorry. I thought the metal was the third reason. Okay.
No!
All right. Third reason why you don't like the Dodge Challenger.
I'm pretty sure they have bad headlights. They do not give very high quality headlights.
And you are judging this on what?
Games. Trusty games.
So, because they don't have strong enough lights in one of the games you play on Xbox, you've decided that's a bad car.
I don't like faulty headlights because
They're
if
not
you have well, small headlights
Right.
and headlights that don't give much light.
Oh,
is really unsafe.
Yes. You know, it's just a video game.
In real life, it's even more dangerous.
I don't think you've seen a Dodge Challenger in real life yet.
No.
No. Okay, right. Well, that's number 5. Let's move on to number 4. And I really hope you've looked past the headlights on number 4. What'd you come up with?
The Mazda BT50.
Oh, what?
Yes!
The hard-working, hard-carrying Mazda BT50. Now, this is a work use. Now, why did you come up with this?
Well, it's made by Mazda, and Mazda's supposed to make race cars,
No.
really
What?
professional cars.
Mazda what is that?
Not pickup trucks.
Sorry, I'm confused here. Mazda makes lots of cars. Passenger cars and sporty cars and once upon a time race cars. They probably still do. But you're saying that BT50 is a bad car because it carries a lot of stuff?
No, it doesn't carry a lot of stuff. My second reason is it doesn't have much storage.
What do you mean? It's got a tray in the back. How much do you want to carry?
Not a big tray. It's like maybe 2 inches.
It's okay. Your measurements are way off. I'm sorry for anyone who works at Mazda, Australia or around the world that's gone, hang on, there's a bit more space in the back than just 2 inches. Do you even know how big 2 inches are?
Yes, I know. It's
Okay.
tiny.
And that's the space you think is in the back of a Mazda BT50.
Well, I'd say maybe if I was American,
No,
30 inches.
What?
Inches.
30 engines.
Inches!
30 inches. Still, it's a bit bigger than 30 inches, Jackson.
It is not
It really is. Maybe I should
30
show you a
inches
picture.
deep.
Oh my god. Okay. This is... Okay. Another reason why you don't like the Mazda BT50.
I think it's because it's hard trying to corner it.
It was never really designed to be a fast cornering machine. It's a work vehicle.
Well,
And when have you ever seen a Mazda BT50 try to take a corner hard? How many tradies have gone flying past you sometime soon in a Mazda BT50?
well, nobody.
But you're just guessing that it doesn't corner well.
Yes.
That's why it's on this list. Okay, well that's 2 for 2 in surprises. I really can't wait to hear what's number 3. What did you come up with?
Suzuki Swift / Suzuki Alto.
Oh, okay. Now I'm kind of with you with the Suzuki Swift because we hired one way before you were born. A lot of road noise. It wasn't that great a car. I kind of understand where you're going with the Suzuki Swift. Not a bad car. I wouldn't have put it on my worst list, but not a car that I really enjoyed driving. Name the reasons why you think a Suzuki Swift and also its little baby brother, the Alto, deserve to be on this list.
It's pretty weak, yes. My nan has broke it with with some type of car crash, and it was too expensive to fix.
Right.
Which, it's a very small car.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yes, but an extremely weak car too.
Right. No, cars don't like being crashed, Jackson. I'm sorry, they're just not really made for that, to be crashed constantly.
They're supposed to be strong.
Well, to a certain degree, but okay. One day I'll teach you about crumple zones and safety measures, but that's okay. So, you don't like either model Suzuki because you don't think they're strong enough.
Yes.
Any other reasons?
They're pretty slow. They're not very fast. They're only going up to the street limit where you have to go on the freeways.
Right. I think most cars get to that limit too, but okay.
Yeah, but
Right.
it's just other cars can go up to 150 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, but you can't really drive that fast anywhere on the streets, Jackson. You shouldn't do that.
Well, if you have your own racetrack.
Okay, right, well, why didn't I think of that? Well, if only I had my own racetrack. Okay, so if we had our own racetrack, you wouldn't be racing around in a Suzuki Swift or a Suzuki Alto.
No, I
Right.
wouldn't.
We'll cross that car off your list. Okay, that's a relatively normal
Wait!
choice.
I haven't did the third reason.
Oh, God, there's more. Oh, no. What else could it be? All right, go on.
Terrible acceleration.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't think it was that bad. How slow do you think it is?
I bet it starts to get to 100 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
I bet it takes 30 seconds.
I don't think it goes from 0 to 100 kilometres in half a minute. I don't think it's that slow. If you've got a Suzuki Swift or an Alto, could you please confirm how long it takes you in seconds to get from 0 to 100? Because I think Jackson's way off.
Well, I'd say 19 at least.
Guesstimation of 30 seconds. Yeah, 19 might be closer to the truth, but yeah, okay, it's not that slow.
Yes.
But still, it's made your list. And so far, that's the only normal car that I can kind of understand being on your list. I can't wait to hear what's number 2, though.
The Mini Cooper.
Oh, what? What have you got against minis?
The old Mini Cooper. You
Oh,
know that?
Come on. Your pa had a couple of those. Your nan had a couple of those as well. They are great cars. Minis are great. What is it about minis you don't like?
They're pretty slow.
Oh, God.
They can't make very good race cars.
Yes.
I've not owned the John Cooper
Works
for
version,
a
yeah.
while.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fast, but I wouldn't say it's fast as one of the Ford Mustangs or...
Well, Mini's never going
or
to beat a
GT.
Mustang. It's not designed for that. Oh, Jackie, you just can't roll up and go, well, there's a Mustang. Well, my Mini's out of the equation.
Well, it can't beat at least a Mercedes, a BMW, a Aston Martin.
But they all make very sporty cars.
They do too.
Right, okay, so that's one of the reasons why the Mini's on your list, except for the John Cooper Works, we found out. What else?
Oh, it's very cheap. I actually listed 4 reasons instead.
You don't like a car because it's cheap.
Yes. Cheap cars
Right.
equal
Yep.
poor quality.
My car was cheap. Mum's car was relatively cheap. Mine was far cheaper than hers, but what's wrong with my car?
Well, nothing, and neither the Mitsubishi. The Mitsubishi and Stagia,
Yes.
yeah, they're pretty good, but not as good as expensive cars. So if you buy an expensive car,
Oh, God,
you can
yes.
get better things out of it.
Better quality, you're suggesting?
Yes.
Okay, and you think Minis are cheap?
Yeah, they're
I'm
pretty
going to have to
are.
take you to a second-hand car yard and classic Minis and websites like that to show you that you're not exactly accurate on that one. But okay, is that enough reasons to not like the Mini, or is there another one we've missed?
Lots of grip.
Loss of grip?
Yes!
In what?
They don't have very well-made wheels, you know.
Oh, God. What is making you say this?
I've watched Top Gear before, like you,
Yes, big fan.
and one of the people say that the Mini, the original Mini Cooper,
Right.
loses its grip.
That would be part of the fun of having one, though.
No, it would not.
Oh, dear.
Having the fear of crashing.
Okay, maybe not that part, but having a bit of fun and a bit of squirt around in it and losing traction on it, yeah, I can see a lot of fun with that, but you'll learn that as you get older, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Is that all the reasons why you're hating on the Mini?
No.
Oh, no. Is there more?
Yes.
What could possibly be wrong now with the Mini?
A pretty odd steering wheel.
Oh, what? What makes the steering wheel pretty odd?
Well, usually steering wheels are made full of leather,
Right.
metal,
Uh-huh.
and buttons.
Leather, metal, and buttons.
Yes!
And the Minis is made of...
Just wood.
just...
Wood.
Have you been in a Mini anytime
Polished
recently?
wood.
What?
I've seen somebody drive it.
I heard you noticed that they replaced their factory steering wheel with one made of polished wood.
No! No, they keep it as polished wood. It's weird. I know. All
I don't
cars,
think that's all Minis.
all old. I know.
No,
all,
that's a choice of people who own classic old cars. Sometimes they like that wood grain and varnished wood look.
Well, I don't.
Okay, that's why it's that's number 2 on our list, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so the big reveal. Out of the 4 cars you've nominated so far, only the Suzuki gets anywhere near why I'd understand why you'd put it on your bad list. So I can hardly wait to find out what you've come up with on number 1. So without any further ado, please, your worst car of all time is...
The Holden Barina.
Okay, yes! Yes! Yeah, I think quite a lot of people would agree with you on this one, especially anyone who's owned one and paid through the back teeth to keep it regular and fixed and reliable and running. But why don't you like the Holden Barina?
It's really poorly built.
Yes, some of them have been, absolutely.
It's also small, which I don't like them.
You like your big cars?
Yes.
Right, okay.
So I can fit my family in there.
There you go, so that's why we don't like the Mini as well, because it's not big enough, apparently.
It's a bit dangerous because it's light. If it's really light and it goes up a mountain really fast...
Right.
It might just make a jump and it doesn't have any springs, so it can't stop the fall.
When was the last time you went up a mountain and saw someone race a Barina up the side of a mountain? It's probably been a while.
I thought of that. I thought that would happen.
Right. Okay. Excellent. So just look out. If you're driving anywhere near a mountain, Holden Barina is very dangerous on mountains. Unbelievable. Any other reasons why that's top of your list? Top 5 cars you don't like?
No.
No, that's it. That's covered it. It's light, it's unreliable, it's poorly built, and it's rubbish on mountains.
Yes.
Excellent. So there you go. Jackson has come up with his worst top 5 cars of all time. We might have to come back in a couple of years and rejig the list when you learn a little bit more about cars and understanding how they work and everything else.
Yeah.
I reckon if we do this in a couple of years' time, the top 5 will be completely different as to what it is right now.
Yeah.
That's okay. But we'll be back soon enough with another top 5. What top 5 are you thinking next?
Your top 5. Your top 5 cars, your worst 5 cars.
Plenty to choose from there. But okay, we'll have a big think about it. We'll come back soon. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this, love you to comment and tell us your top 5 worst cars of all time. And hopefully you've got a little bit more sensible reasons for each of the ones on your list than Jackson does, because throwing them off mountains is not really something that I'd categorise a car for. But that's just me. Anyway, like, subscribe. Love to have you on board. Your top 5 worst cars of all time. And we'll be back checking out 5 of my favourite cars of all time very soon.